Welcome inside the Treehouse Football Podcast. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. Our Cowboys coming off of a 49-17 demolition of the New York Football Giants. And their third string, I'm not related to Danny DeVito. Tommy DeVito? I've already forgotten his first name.
I believe so of the Giants.
What's that?
I said I believe so of the Giants.
Yeah.
I believe they've forgotten his name as well.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a name you really need to commit to memory.
I don't think it is. But you know what? He's living the high life right now as the starting quarterback of the New York Giants. He's still living at home with his mom and his dad. His laundry is done for him. His mom makes his bed every day. She's got chicken cutlets ready for him when he gets home from practice or games. Granted, he spends the majority of the time running for his life.
You think she makes some little chicky nuggies in the shapes of footballs?
I hope so.
Now I just picture him outside of the stadium, like waiting for his ride. Like, all the other players are getting in their Maseratis. He's like, my mom's almost here. It's all good, guys. Thanks.
The other players are offering him rides.
Pissed off that mom didn't pack pudding in his lunch.
Teammates are offering him rides. Like, my mom says I can't get in the car with strangers.
Yeah. That's true, because he didn't really know some of those guys. I'm sure a number of those guys, because not only is the name so quintessential / stereotypical Jersey, the fact that he grew up 9 miles from the stadium, still lives in the same house with his family that is 12 minutes from the practice facility. I'm sure a number of the players thought, this is a fan that just snuck into the locker room.
It's a 12th man.
More like the
15th. Yeah, I remember, and we've talked about my football participation. I wouldn't say playing. Participation in high school. My sophomore year, I actually got to second string, which that's all I wanted to be. I just wanted to stay there. Freshman year, I was sixth string out of 4 receivers. Do the math at home. 100% true. There was 4, there's first string, second string, third string, 2 empty spaces, and then me. So I wasn't faster than no one. So I would lose in my own foot race. That's how slow I was. But I got to second string, and I just remember being like, I'm good here. I don't need to. So anytime I would see the corner take a hit, I was like, oh man, get up. I don't want to. I got to here. I'm good. I'm not that. I'm not sixth string anymore. I'm second. I'm fine. And so I imagine DeVito, whatever his first name is when Daniel Jones went out with the Achilles and the second string quarterback went up, he's like, cool, there's no way. There's no way it's going to be me. And then that guy went out and he's like, dude, no. You can tell that was the look on his face.
And you're probably not wrong.
Yeah,
he was probably assuming the Giants would do what so many other NFL teams do when they lose a starting quarterback or 2 quarterbacks. They call Josh Dobbs. The problem is the Giants were too late on that, and Dobbs is already playing somewhere else. So DeVito's like, all right, it's you, kid.
Yeah, and his face the entire game was like, "Come on, guys!" Every time he got up from taking a hit, he just kind of like, "Hey, somebody help me!" That was I lost interest in that game, and I lost interest in that game. I think when it was 21-0, I was like, "All right, we're good."
I actually came in, I think, at the perfect time because we had an event, so I missed the first part of the game. So I don't even know what happened. I didn't start watching the game until about 10 minutes left in the second quarter. And the game was almost over by then even.
Yes.
The good thing I will take away from that game as a Cowboys fan is that's what they were supposed to do to the really just downtrodden Giants. That's what they were supposed to do. So they met expectations in that game.
Yes, I mean I think that's what and they were one of the commentators was talking about how Dak had made a comment like we feel really good from coming off a win, and let's go into this game with that same momentum. And I'm like, but they're also 2-6, so and they're all on their third string quarterback. So yeah, they won, but it's like it's still like. The Eagles, like, come on, guys, we're going to play them again here soon. So let's play like that. Let's manage that expectation. But to be the 2-6 team on a third string quarterback like that, I don't know how. I wasn't overjoyed. I was like, all right, we won, cool, I'll start. But by like you said, by 10 minutes into the second quarter, I was like, I can start dinner now. I'm good. Yeah. I don't need to be attentive through this. But it was. it was fun.
I was more irritated by that 4th and goal call in the first quarter than I was anything.
Yeah, that's the first text message. I was like, they're Trey texted me immediately. I was so disappointed. I'm like, they just started. Like
that was just a boneheaded call.
Yeah, they were just playing aggressive. They were trying to feel it out.
Why? Why?
Because they knew the Giants were 2-6, and realistically,
so
really
McCarthy
shouldn't
says,
even have.
Man up offense. You show me you can get a yard. Oh, you can't. That was just it was a stupid fucking call. Pardon my language.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's passion, Trey. It's passion. I understand.
Yeah, I had to tell.
Take the 3 points and move on down the road.
Yeah, so I texted her. I was like, "Come on, buddy, relax." They know they're gonna win. That's what that move was.
It makes me mad that the signature thing with Philly and why they're so good, the tush push, whatever you want to call it. The Cowboys can't even they cannot, like 4th and 1, can't do it.
Yeah. But I mean, but again, it was that thing. Like that call was, hey, we're going to win this by a mile. So if we want to goof around, let's do that. And let's see, because we do have tougher teams coming up. So let's see if we can get these plays to work or not work, or because they're going to go back and watch the film on that and go, here's why that didn't work. So
and you're right. It's not technically goof around, but I think you're right. It's like that they were looking at the game against the Giants as, you know what? A lot of this stuff is sort of like, this is a nationally televised practice for us.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. This is like a scrimmage.
Keep in mind, this is the same team that got their ass whipped by Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we can really go into any game going, we got this.
No, I think that one you could.
I mean, a third string quarterback, yeah, you're right. But
that's what I'm saying. Like the third string quarterback in a 2-6
But let's be honest, if there was any team that would be, possibly above average in the NFL to get its ass handed to it by the New York Giants with a third string quarterback at home, it would be the Cowboys.
Yes. And that's why, I do like this. This is when I enjoy Trey's pessimism. It's when he's like, well, we could lose. And I'm like, he's like, of the Treehouse, he's my Eeyore.
Yeah, there is a lot of pessimism, but I mean, to me, that's just realism with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But I still don't think it was sound coaching, sound logic. Right then, you're in the first drive, first quarter.
Yeah.
And you have a team that, let's be honest, kind of a fragile psyche. Why risk it? Why risk it at 4th and goal in a game that you can easily win? Take the 3 points, and
Yeah. Did you?
If that had been against Philly, I probably would have been all right. You know what? They're a better team. You got to roll the dice. You got to take your chances. I would be more down with that than I am with the Giants, and
that's fair. All. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have the over? Is that what this is about?
I'm pretty sure that hit regardless. I think the Cowboys hit that.
Yeah, they actually did, because I remember last week I'm watching the game and I'm thinking, I think I told Trey to place a bet for me and I wanted the under, and and the Cowboys did that themselves.
Yeah. That's what I remember watching it going, did Dan say the under? I'm like, why? Like,
I
and then
did, but that's sort of
yeah,
That is
like Trey. I have a little bit of that Cowboys pessimism. Now, if we're looking at our show here and our sports analysis of the Cowboys as the Winnie the Pooh characters, Trey is definitely Eeyore. I would
yeah,
imagine I'm probably Pooh, and Raj,
yeah,
you're obviously Tigger.
yes.
Bouncing
Woohoo!
around. Yay,
Uh,
Cowboys.
can we just say, just for the sake of saying, CeeDee Lamb is probably one of the best receivers in this game. That one-handed catch was probably the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
It was
Like
pretty
that was
great.
just
The thing I
if
can't
you
stand with though when wide receivers make one-handed catches like that are
yeah.
the times that they drop the two-handed ones.
Yeah, but if you I mean, and I've watched it over and over again. I don't even think he saw the ball. I think he just knew that's where it was going to be, and his hand went there. Like that was incredible. And then he almost did it twice in the same game. But yeah, that was for me. CeeDee Lamb was the highlight, and then I believe Bland had an interception as well. Did he have an interception
Well,
for a touchdown?
talking about CeeDee Lamb and the massive game he had. You
Yes.
also finally had a massive game from Brandon Cooks. You
Yes,
even had
absolutely.
some meaningful catches and a touchdown as well from Michael Gallup. It was basically a wide receiver party for the
Yeah.
Cowboys for the first time this season where everybody's just, everyone's having a good time. And as the offensive side goes, it was an end zone party as well. Dak had one. CD's in the end zone. Brandon Cooks is in the end zone. Rico Dowdle is in the end zone. The one guy
Yeah.
left out, poor Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was the only guy of the skill positions on the Cowboys offense that did not get the invitation to the end zone party.
Yeah, and and again, it goes back to you guys actually played, and be like, as opposed to me, who just I was present, joyfully. I didn't miss a game. They wouldn't have noticed. Well, they would have. I wasn't the only brown guy, so they would have noticed. But like, is okay. So when they're like, your quarterback goes down, they're like, and it's always an assumption made that that's it. Like the game, the season could be over. Like when Rogers went down and Zach Wilson, yeah, takes
Yep.
over. They're like, you know what? It's just whatever it is now. Is that legitimately that big of a? I know he's the leader of the team, and I get that. Is it legitimately that big of a deal? Like I understand, but these are all skilled
Yeah, it
players. You've made it to
absolutely
the
is.
but you've made it to the NFL. You're all very skilled players. You're all elite
Mhm.
players to make it to that level. So why would that make so much of a difference? I just don't because I didn't.
Because it's the NFL. Because it's the NFL, and they spend so much money on the starting quarterbacks that
Mhm.
other starting positions on the team, there's a drop off sometimes because you spend so much money on a top flight quarterback, you can't afford to have top flight players at every position that you want unless you get them on their rookie deals.
Right. Well,
Um,
what I'm saying is like,
I,
is the bond with the rest of that for that starting quarterback and the bond with that team, is it that isolated that you can't have a second person come in and fill those shoes immediately,
I
even though
think
they're all
I
elite
think
players?
I think it really depends. And like so a great example was with the Jets when Aaron Rodgers goes down. The problem with that is CJ Wilson's been playing with them for 2 years. They knew what they had in CJ Wilson. So I think there is a massive confidence of just lack of confidence. Like Rodgers goes down, there goes our season because they know they got crap as a backup. I think other times, and you've seen it that backups will come in, and if they can show a little bit of confidence, make a throw, they can do okay. They're obviously game in and game out are not going to be as good as the starters. That's why they're backups. But like Dobbs, like that, in Minnesota, he came in.
Mhm.
I mean, he didn't even know the playbook, but obviously he had the confidence and get in the huddle and said, and they got it done. And so I think it very much depends, but
Gotcha.
I think that's why there are some good backups. Colt McCoy, like I think he
Yeah.
retired. Then I think they brought him back. one of those good serviceable backups that can go in there and make some decent throws, whatever. And, that's why he made a couple $1 million a year for most of his career and hardly played. Not a bad gig.
And real quick, you said CJ, but I know you mean Zach Wilson. Although,
sorry,
the old Rangers pitcher CJ Wilson coming out of baseball retirement and pulling him out of a race car, he might be able to do it.
Yeah,
talk about head cases. Oh,
yeah,
and I've always just I have a theory about quarterbacks, and they always have great names. Like I think at a very young age. When you guys are in Pee Wee or Little League, whatever you call it, they see the kid with the name and they go, we don't know if he's got the skill, but Colt McCoy, there's no other thing you're going to do in the state of Texas but play. You're the guy.
I think you may be onto something there, Raj. Yes. Especially when you think about the great quarterbacks of the history of the NFL. Just imagine a little 6-year-old Joey Montana.
Like
you
Joey
see this
Montana
kid come in as the coach, and you're like, you know what? I think that's our starting quarterback. It's got to be. You're not going to take a tiny Joe Montana and say linebacker.
Where's that kicker Montana at? Joey Montana sounds like a character out of a mob movie. Like, go talk to Joey Montana. And they have those names like Colt McCoy. I'm like, come on, man! Like, either football or you own a Dodge dealership. Like, that's all you can do. Like, it's come on down to Colt McCoy Dodge. Like, that's what that.
Actually, it wouldn't surprise me if he actually does that as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or you do both. Because when I hear like the quarterbacks, especially like in college football, some of them are just incredible. I'm like, of course you're the quarterback, and they're always ridiculously good looking too. Like
the Georgia quarterback is the one with Stetson something the fourth.
Yes, yeah. Like, that's just ridiculous. I'm like, come on, man. Like you knew, like they gave birth to it. Like they're like, and push and pass. Like that's what that like that's how it happened. Like that's why I say like, and I joke about Indians, but you're never gonna be sitting at a bar and be like, ah, man, did Patel throw another interception? And like that's not gonna be. You're not gonna have a starting quarterback with an Indian last name. It's not gonna happen for a very long time.
Well, you mentioned the quarterback, good looking scale. Have you seen Notre Dame's quarterback?
I have not this year. I've not. Is he a handsome fella?
That honestly might be an understatement.
Yes,
okay. And I say that as a straight red-blooded American male, but Sam Hartman,
he's a beautiful man.
Starting,
Sam Hartman.
Trey knows.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Hart. Okay, well,
and you're right. It's like when he came out of the womb, he was.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he was photo shoot ready.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he should be in every outdoor movie from now on. Any outdoor event, any outdoor adventure. But he's what every guy in every Lifetime movie looks like. Like
I was actually going to say, if he's not starring in every single Hallmark Channel film, then they should just shut the network down.
Heart to Hartman. Yeah, that's a good looking guy. That's a handsome fellow there. Good for him. See, that's what I'm saying. Like that's how they do it. They go, what's his name? Sam. They're like, he could be. Let's see what he looks like. And then Sam walked in like, yep, he's the quarterback. I mean, that's clearly the face of our team.
When you're better like, looking than the brawny paper towel man.
Yeah, that's okay. That's solid. My theory is coming. My theory is coming true.
Which, by the way, you know who else was the starting quarterback at Notre Dame?
Joey Montana.
That is correct. Yep.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
In addition, Raj, to the money that's paid to starting quarterbacks, which does not leave a whole lot of money left for other quarterbacks on the team or other skill positions. There is another glaring reason to answer your question why there's such a drop off from QB1 to QB2.
No, what I'm saying is not even the drop off. What I'm saying is the bond between that starting quarterback and the rest of that team so critical because everybody's made it to the NFL, the elite of the elite. So 1 in 180,000 people will make it to the NFL. They've made it. So is it, and this is just my question, is that bond between QB1 and the rest of the team that critical that if they go down, QB2 steps in, they can go, you know what, that's season. Like when Aaron Rodgers went down, the color commentary basically went, well, there go the Jets. That's a wrap.
Well,
and, I'm like,
and again, that's because they knew who the backup was. To answer your question, and a lot of this is, and the answer is yes, that bond is that tight because almost every collective bargaining agreement that they've done in the last 20 years has shortened the practice time they have. So the number of snaps that they take in practice is very limited. And so the first team quarterback gets all the snaps, like literally.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, unless
that
there's a week where they think it's like the end of the year or whatever, and they know they're going to play the backup, he might get 10% of the snaps. Dan, you've covered football. You know better than I would about that. But all in all, like it's all the first team. So and everything in the NFL is so much timing that when you put someone else in there, the new field general, and they're not used to hearing them. That's why a lot of times you see the offside, like the false starts and all that other stuff.
The more you do anything, typically the better at it you will become.
Yeah. Okay,
you may not necessarily get better at it because at a certain point you may hit a ceiling or a wall. But at the very least, you'll get more comfortable doing it.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess, and then everybody else around you gets that comfort factor. But because I would assume by now the Jets would be in rhythm with Zach Wilson, right? I assume that, but I guess not because there is a potential of Aaron Rodgers coming back now.
Well, but they know, but Zach Wilson is crap. I mean, they know that. It's not like it's an unknown factor that, we just got this guy in and, he's the second string quarterback, but we think he'll do great things. It's Zach Wilson and they know.
It's 1 in 180,000 people will make it to the NFL and he's one of them. So,
but let's also keep in mind, Raj, that while that statistic is accurate, NFL scouts miss. Like, They are just as fallible as anybody else in any other profession because they have missed many, 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 many times over the years. They've nailed it a lot. Like Troy Aikman's a great example, number 1 overall pick, Hall of Famer, everything. It was everything that the Cowboys hoped he would be, and he became that.
Yeah.
On the flip side, right now, looking at, say, the 49ers, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
He wasn't drafted in the first round. Wasn't drafted in the second, the third, all the way to the end of the draft. They finally took this kid whose name sounded more like a porn star than a quarterback, and he's lights out.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like there for every Brock Purdy, you have a Tim Tebow. like you have this great college quarterback who just panned out. I mean, just so quickly in the NFL and who was the quarterback for the Cardinals? He was the first round.
Kyler Murray.
Pick. No, before ages before him, but he washed out very quickly as well.
I know what you're talking about.
Josh Rosen.
Yeah,
that's what. Yeah.
I mean, it happens in it happens in all aspects of business. I mean, there are major media companies that hire shows that don't even know to turn the mics on.
So well done. that was can I say masterful? Effortless and skilled at the same time. Well done. And with the sinus infection. It was like watching Jordan with the flu.
That was a dominant punchline, Trey, much like the Cowboys' dominant performance over the Giants.
Yeah, that was well done, man. I got nothing after that.
You don't need to. So we can put the game against the Giants to bed.
Yeah.
But now we look forward to the last scheduled noon game for the Cowboys this season against the very, like, if you think it was bad enough how cocky they were going up against the Giants, now it's the 1-8 Panthers.
Yeah, this is what's the spread on this, Trey? What's go into your degenerate gambler mind?
It's probably quite a bit.
That's what it says. It doesn't even have to.
It just says quite a bit. Like, Vegas doesn't even want to take money on it. Like, no, we don't want this one.
What's the over? It says a lot. How does this game have no under?
And if we're being honest about it, so you've got, this is actually the beginning of the gauntlet that the Cowboys go through every year. So you've got this game against Carolina, and you've got the next 3 games are in 11 days.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because you've got the Panthers, then you got the Commanders on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then and I'm brain farting who's right up after that. But the Cowboys need
we have
to
the Eagles
be,
after that?
There's one more than the Eagles.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
10.5 and 42. So.
Okay. Okay. 10.5 is the points. 42 is the
give
over.
Me the over.
All right. Yeah.
Just give me the over.
And the Panthers are like, just let it be over.
I don't even know who's playing quarterback for the Panthers.
Yeah, I don't. Sam Hartman, ironically.
It is not. He's still at Notre Dame. It's no. You've got Panthers, Commanders, then Seahawks, then the Eagles.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So based on that, the Cowboys need to be. They better be. I stopped short of using the word should because I know better. They better win those 3 because they're going to need those going into their December schedule, because the December schedule is brutal. Because once they go through these next 3, they need to be 9-3, because then they get the Eagles rematch, followed by the Bills, the Dolphins, the Lions, who are still shockingly good.
Yes.
And then the Commanders again at home. That is a brutal December, so they need to win these next 3.
Yes. And it says quarterback is Bryce Young. Former Heisman Trophy winner is the Panthers quarterback. Yeah, that's a brutal schedule. And God bless them. Yeah. Again, going into a 1-8 team, like
the Bills are one of the more puzzling teams that I've seen, like, to be that talented and yet, just at times that bad.
And from last year where they were on fire. Last year, and then this year, like, they were just, I mean, I watched some of the Bills game this last week, and that was just tragic to watch.
I don't know if you guys are thinking it, but I am, so I'm going to say it.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills look a lot like the Dallas Cowboys. They might have been really good the year before, had enough success to think, hey, this year could be their year, but then fell a little short. And then the next year, you're like, okay, no, really, this is really going to be their year. And then out of nowhere, they just suck for no apparent reason.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been, and you guys have known me for a while. I've never been that guy where I'm like, watch the first game of the season and go, this is our year. Like, we're going to take it to the. I've never been that guy, because again, we were talking about it before. Trey is always he's the Eeyore on my shoulder when he's like, just wait, we'll F it up. Just give it time. We look great, right? Yeah, we scored 30, 40 points in the first 2 games. We'll F this up.
Oh, Raj.
And true to form, like we do. And Trey's just like, I told you. Like, I don't know what else you want from me. I told you we were going to do that. I'm like, that's correct. So I just kind of, it's what everybody jumped on Colorado's bandwagon when Deion Sanders went over there and they won their first game against TCU. And they're like, it's our year. And I'm like, give it time. Like
It was TCU.
yeah. It's like give it time.
At the time, that was TCU coming off being in the national championship game, and then people didn't realize, it's hard to stay on top, and they're crap this year.
Yeah, and so I've always been.
Trey, say that again a little bit slower, but make a sadder face, and then pin your ears back just a little bit.
Woohoo! Yeah, so I've always been of that ilk where I'm like, you know what, I'll watch every game and I'll base my I've been hearing people go, this is our year for 30 years, and I'm like, let's relax. We say it every year.
Raj.
I'm not trying to be the pessimist. I'm just like, hey, let's.
No. That's Trey's thing. You can't have it. That's all his.
Yeah, but I do like his that. Like I like that. Like I don't say it out loud, and Trey does. So like I internalize the Eeyore. Like he lets it out.
I don't know that I've ever been a fan of any team where I've gone into an year going, this is our year, we're going to do it. I mean, the closest I've ever come is the 2005 Longhorns. And that was still, I mean, you want to talk about miserable? You should have been with me. I'm at the Rose Bowl in that game, the greatest game in college football history. And I spent half the fourth quarter with my hand in my eye, hands covering my eyes going, oh God, I can't watch this.
Yeah.
So,
well, you were at that game. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. That was the peak of my fandom. Is I had gone to the Rose Bowl game the year before with Texas, Michigan. Great game. Texas wins, last second field goal. Went to almost every game of the year, including going up to Ohio State. So that was my pinnacle of football fandom. And then I wanted to see Texas win a national championship, and by God, they gave it to me. And
wow, that's really cool. I've not.
And they've been torturing you ever since.
Oh, that's. Don't ever. I mean, a bad, ill-timed firing or hiring in college football can set your program back a decade. Hi,
Speaking
Texas A&M.
of which, let's talk about that. Texas A&M has dumped $75 million into Jimbo Fisher's lap to go away.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he will make $13,000. I think that roughly is $13,000 a day for the next.
No, it's $26,000 a day till 2031.
To not coach.
I have decided that if reincarnation is real, if I would like to come back as a college football coach. Yes. I am now of the belief that is the greatest job you can have of all the jobs. Mm-hmm. College football coach has got to be one of the best, especially when you just need to be just successful enough to get to a big program like an A&M, and they give you buckets of money, and then they give you more buckets of money, and then they give it to you to go away.
Well, and highly insulting to the players of the team that don't make anything. So that get all of the well, I mean, they get stuff from boosters. I mean, we all know that. But they get but they're not getting millions of dollars like the coaching and the universities that basically work them for free.
And it's not like they gave him that extension after he won the SEC. Or he won his division in the SEC. No. Yeah. They just had a above average year, but because of the cult of personality that college football coaches are, and the mere talk of him going somewhere else, which was probably all drubbed up by his agent, they rolled out the checkbook and went, 10-year, $95 million. Yeah, $10 million a year, basically. Yeah, bonus.
I've got the breakdown here of Texas A&M's payments to Jimbo Fisher after firing him. Within 60 days, he will be paid $19.4 million. Mm-hmm. Within 120 days, it'll be $7.27 million. Then for the year 2025, he will be paid $7.27 million, along with 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, and 2031. For 6 straight years, he will receive almost $7.3 million to not coach at A&M.
Yeah, I need that. I need that. I need to talk to my agent. I'm like, I need to know how much money Netflix is going to give me to not be on.
Look, seriously, you can pay me the same amount of money. Actually, you can pay me a lot less to not also be the coach of A&M. And I'm a lot cheaper than Jimbo Fisher. You can pay me $50,000 a year to not be the head coach at A&M, and I'll take it.
Yeah. We'll just do $100,000 a year, and all three of us will split it to not be the coach for A&M. I will do a great job of that. I would be excellent. I did a great job of not playing in high school. I can be even better not coaching. Like, I'm fine with this. Like, that's so ridiculous to me. Like, I don't understand how that works. And with social media now, that has been just picking up so much steam. I don't know. I don't think anything will happen. There's a contract signed. I don't think anything's going to happen with it. But it's just so many people are outraged by this whole thing with Jimbo Fisher.
Well, speaking of outrage, just imagine that you're one of those boosters that's paying that.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. That's so wild, man. That's so wild. I've never heard of it.
But they get but here's the thing. They get to a point where they're like, fine, I don't want to watch this anymore. Here's $10 million. Make it go away. And that's what I mean. I don't feel sorry for the boosters because they're the ones who forked over the check to sign them to that ridiculous amount, and then they'll fork it over again to go, oh, my bad.
Oh yeah, no. Don't misconstrue what I was trying to say. I don't feel badly for the boosters because they clearly have the money to throw down the drain, or in this case, at a guy named Jimbo.
Yeah.
They're going to be fine, but I find it hysterical that just because, and what this does, it sort of solidifies to me something that I've already believed. That is, just because you have lots and lots of money doesn't necessarily mean you're smart.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. They're called Aggies.
When you're right, Trev. Longhorn boosters are not. They're not signing that deal.
No.
No.
Thank you for hanging out with us here in the Treehouse for the football podcast. Be sure to tune in here tomorrow for the Friday episode of the Treehouse podcast. We'll see you there.
See you.